y'all are. This is your buddy George Jones over here in the gun room. Say, listen, I wanted to make a little short video to tag some content on. I guess they would call it bonus footage. I'm going to talk about a little knife I got. This one. This is a Victorinox. Let's make sure. Yes, this is a Victorinox lock blade Swiss Army knife. I think this is the police and rescue model is what they call this. This has a 3 3/4 inch blade, straight conventional Swiss Army knife blade, but it's 3 3. Well, let's make sure before we. I honestly had a cotton picking tape measure laying right here. The blade overall is 3, almost 3 1/2. The cutting section of the blade is 3 1/4. Okay, so it's a 3 1/4 inch cutting section, and it's a lock blade. So it won't close until you actuate this little slide button on the side, and then it'll close. That's pretty cool. It has a serrated style blade, okay, like this one, but the serrated blade is very blunt on the end. I think the purpose of this is to for cutting rope, of course, cutting lines and so forth, but also for freeing hostages or cutting down suicides or, cutting seat belts, that sort of thing, because you can work it this way with no chance of cutting a person. So if the person was bound up, you could get in there and cut it. Seat belts, if a person's seat belt had locked in a car wreck, which they frequently do. I've cut quite a few of them in my lifetime. You could cut it, or you could cut the victim's seat belt with it. If you had a hanging situation, you could get into the neck without cutting their throat and cut the ligature. I think that's the purpose of this blade. It has and it comes out back here, it has a very aggressive double skip line diamond tooth saw. So it has 2 rows of teeth that are opposed to each other. And I've used this saw a lot. I mean, if you want to make a snare trigger where you've got 2 pieces together like this is an ideal tool for cutting it. And I've cut 3/4 inch plywood with this thing, and it'll just go through it like an inch of cut each time. It's just a fantastic saw. But you got to be careful when you're using these things to do your power stroke on the draw, so that you don't run the risk of getting the blade in a bind one way or the other and breaking it. That's where most of the Swiss Army knife saws get broke, is when people try and use their power stroke on the plunge. You want to use your power stroke with this type of thing on the draw, okay? It has a very good can opener. I've used this can opener, and this style of can opener is kind of dangerous because, let me find something. It's got a bead on it. It's this can right here. You lip it in there like that, and you're going forward with your cut, and you're holding your can like this. So if you have an accident, you're in danger of injuring yourself. Whereas the Boy Scout and American Army knife has the can opener goes the other way, away from you, which is a little safer. But this is a very efficient can opener, and it also has a screwdriver tip on it. Pretty nice, but you know, it's the European style where you're cutting on the plunge, which is, you know, you're in danger of injuring yourself with it. So you have to be really careful. Hold the can down here and work it up here. It has a bottle opener and a large screwdriver, and this little guy here, which is a wire stripper. So, you know, you cut around the wire with your knife, and then you put it through that loop and get the insulation and pull it off. It's pretty cool, pretty efficient, works. Bottle opener and screwdriver. And then the accessory tools, of course, are the standard accessory tools on a Swiss Army knife. Just trim my fingernails today. They're having a hard time. Toothpick in the back, and tweezers in the back. And they're pretty good little tweezers, to tell you the truth. Better than no tweezers at all. Good for ticks. Good for splinters. As a matter of fact, I've gotten a lot of ticks out with this style. And then the standard Swiss Army knife, all with the sewing thread eye, okay, which is good for everything in the world. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but I have drank wine. And when I drink wine, I like to take and pull the cork out with a Swiss Army knife corkscrew, which I can find no other possible use for a Swiss Army knife corkscrew except as a corkscrew. Now, the last time I used this was when I had a few people over from France, Belgium, the year before COVID, for my little firearms tourism gig, where people come over and pay me a little to me teach them how to shoot and let them shoot my guns. It's pretty cool little gig, just to tell you the truth. And I use this. That's the last time I used this, because they seemed to have a lot of wine that they'd bought, but they forgot to buy a corkscrew, and they wouldn't let them bring it on the plane. So this is the Victorinox Swiss Army Police and Rescue knife. Just a really handy knife. Now, I received this knife as a gift about 10 years ago, and the person who got me this knife bought it with Marlboro miles, if you can believe that. Kathleen Adams, my buddy that was on cert with, she smoked 2 cartons of Marlboros a month, or 2 cartons of Marlboros a week, and saved the miles and got in the miles racket and was getting all kinds of cool stuff. And one of the things she got was this knife. And she gave it to me for my 45th birthday, but anyway, I've had it quite some time, and it's been an outstanding knife. I've never seen another one like it. I have seen the Victorinox version of this with red handles, and it didn't have a rope cutting blade or a saw. It didn't have as many features as this one. It may have been just a knife that they made to sell for on miles for Marlboro. I don't know. And I've never seen another one like it. Well, all right then. That's about the size of that for the old Swiss Army knife review. Like Surefire, commentate, and subscribe, and we'll see you when we see you. I got today is the 12th of April. I just got my last shot my Pfizer vaccine, and I feel real good about it. I feel real hopeful about it, but I will continue to be careful for the simple reason that if I'm 95%, 90 to 95% immune to the virus, I can still pick it up and take it and give it to somebody that hasn't got it. Okay? So we have to continue to be careful, even though there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. It may be a train, buddy. God bless everyone. Join the NRA, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye now.